All right, YouTube, what's going on? This is Charles again, and it's kind of like Britney Spears would say, "Oops, I've done it again," or "I did it again," whatever. It's like 21 years old, that song. Anyway, right here is my newest acquisition. So this is a Silva 1939 Swedish Army Compass. You can kind of see on there. Hopefully it's auto-focusing. So I guess a good thing for you guys, I'm using a tripod now, so you're not going to get quite as dizzy watching me, but you still might get frustrated the way I talk. But focus on the items and not on my poor speech. And of course I put it right next to this 1932 Swedish Army one. So let's try to start. So you can see here, I don't know if this is considered the Ranger one, but it's very similar to the Ranger one if it is not a Ranger one. What's kind of cool on this is it's got a mirror integrated inside of there. I have not cleaned this up. I'll see if I'm able to clean this up. I really doubt that I'm going to see this ring on here. I really doubt that I'm going to be able to polish this out and make it shiny. Possibly. I haven't tried yet. It's got an aluminum top cover on here. And you see this has some wear. I am seriously thinking about refinishing this. So obviously I would remove all of this old paint, and then I would use aluminum paint, since aluminum, a lot of paints don't like to stick to it as well. So if you get an aluminum dedicated paint, I may be able to kind of polish this or sand it nice and smooth and then cover it with that. I'm pretty sure I will do that in the future, but I'm not sure yet. Of course, it's got acrylic down here, which I wasn't really aware that the acrylic was used in 1939. But they still use acrylic on all of their compasses that they make to this day from Silva. Obviously you can see there's a little bit of kind of an amber color. I've never tried to restore acrylic, but all I've found online is that I should use, some soap, like dish soap or something like that. Try to just clean off some of this. I'm not holding my breath to see if I can get rid of, make it more clear, but it's still clear enough. If I put a map underneath here, you can still see underneath that fine. It's just the age of this. It's oxidized, obviously. And they still have all the marks on here, and I believe this is in the metric system, not in SAE or like inches. But that's fine. I can calculate and figure it out. Now this is one of the early fluid-filled compasses. So I think they came out with a patent in, was it 1933 or 1935? I don't remember. Anyway, I'm not sure what fluid is in there. I'm gonna guess maybe it's oil, but I haven't reached out. I haven't researched it too much. I just received this a day ago, and I think it's made very well. You've got increments on the back on the dial. You've got markers here. You obviously have You can see on there, you can see increments in centimeters, I'm assuming. I haven't checked it. So, but this thing seems to be working properly. I've got this 1932 right next to it. The main difference is obviously there is no fluid inside of here. It's just held on a little pin inside of there. If I want to lock it, I can hit this little button and then that locks that so this thing doesn't move around and wear out. There's a little lever inside. Now the benefit that I've read on there with the fluid is that within four seconds you can get a readout, an accurate readout. So if I'm doing all this and I want to set this, it goes to north very fast. This will take up to 30 minutes if I do the same type of thing with this. Hopefully you can see this. I can't see what I am recording right now. You see how it keeps going back and forth. So with the fluid inside, this allows this thing to center on the north, or magnetic north anyway. You do have this bezel here, so you know, I don't remember how many degrees I need to go for true north, but let's pretend I just have to go 15 degrees. Now I can see that true north is over here, correct? I can do the same thing with this. This one has a very small window, so that's what I don't care about this version here, is this window is very small, and it's also difficult to adjust this dial. Now I could lessen on these screws here and make it easier to adjust this bezel, but it takes two hands for me to turn this. I can do this with one. That's what I like about this version. I like the way this one looks. I mean, we're not in a fashion show, but if I was in a fashion show, I'd say I think this one looks cooler. Personally, to me, you've got your own opinions, and you can go ahead and comment on there if you like. I'm saying this looks cooler to me than this one, although this looks very cool. Obviously on both of these we have the leather strap, which you can fasten onto a button or something else, basically so you don't drop it. I like it's kind of more compact on this. It is thicker for the belt loop and for the attaching it on. I don't know, I kind of like the way this one looks. This one doesn't look bad at all. I did minimal restoration. Obviously I have not cleaned up all of this patina on here from the copper that's in the brass, and I haven't completed it on this either, but I did treat the leather on both of these. When I received this from the buyer, this one seemed hydrated and didn't take that much. This one was very dry, but it was not crumbly, so it was still taken care of, but it really soaked up all my Obenoffs, and that's what I like to use, is the Obenoffs LP. And I've done 2 coats on this so far just to rehydrate this and help protect it. I think I'm going to do another 1 or 2 coats on this as well. Obenoffs has beeswax in there, which, you know, I can kind of burnish it with a brush, make it a little bit shiny, and it protects it. Same thing with this one. I've only put on 2 coats on this so far. I haven't really cleaned up very much. And I've got 2, you know, I guess vintage compasses here. And I just wanted to show you guys these things. You can see on here too, you've got all these different gradations on here. It's very easy to move, and then you can see on here they do have this arrow to show me where it's at, how many degrees I'm off, things like that. This appears to be an aluminum bezel on here, but I'm not 100% sure. But just from the feel and look of it, it seems like it is made out of aluminum, which is a good thing. You don't want to have iron. You know, here this is brass, and then we have Bakelite on here, and then of course we have the aluminum cover on this. This one is slightly lighter, you know, because it's just a stamped aluminum case versus a molded Bakelite on the bottom and the top, with all this brass as well. Makes it a little bit heavier. It's not a big deal to me. I'm a big enough person I can carry these, and it's not gonna kill me. I don't measure how many ounces things are. I'm not when I go hiking, hunting, or different things outside, I'm not really counting all of the weight of the things. It's kind of based on my preference and my fitness. So I guess if you're measuring that, you might like this better. But if you guys have any questions on these things, go ahead and put them on there. If you got comments or whatever, I'm full of shit, or you don't like whatever, that's fine with me too. I don't really care. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not doing this to get money for views and things like that. I'm just showing you some of the things that are out there. If you like vintage compasses, or a lot of just vintage anything, I try to show things that you don't see very often on YouTube. That's normally what I do. I do put some other things. I mean, I've got, you know, stuff about my plants. I have stuff when I had my stroke and I had brain surgery, and that's part of why I don't speak very well, so I apologize for that. But I'm still recovering from that. I think I've been doing much better lately than before, but you know, once again, it's really about the products. And you guys have a good one. I don't do edits in general, so you know, I'm not like I don't do this on the computer. I do it on my phone, and there's not very much editing that I can do unless I want to pay a bunch of money for apps and things like that, which I don't really want to do. I'm just doing this for fun. But thank you for watching. Have a good one.